Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Soaring Through Chaos. And the reason we do this is because we are in the midst of a lot of chaos. Every day is like a new day and completely unpredictable. And as my friends from China would say, may you live in interesting times has come true in our generation. Who would have imagined being in the midst of a pandemic, not even knowing whether it's a real one or not, but loss of life, loss of jobs, being locked out or locked in sometimes. But amid all this chaos, there are rays of hope. There are people who create community. If we challenge ourselves and find our stillness, then there's a lot of potential growth. That's why I talk to people who either create community or have grown themselves through challenges. And one of the people I got to know, thanks to another common friend, Allison, is Lauren Goodkind. So, Lauren, great to see you here online and face to face now. And I'm so grateful to Allison who introduced us.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much for having me.
And please tell us about your life. I know that you're one of the top chess players, seated chess players, especially among women in the United States. And such a male-dominated game, you've done really well from what I hear. And you're one of the sought-after chess teachers in the Bay Area, right?
Yes, that's true. Chess is a male-dominated game, and I've been teaching chess for about 8 years now. I am self-employed, and most of my students are kids, but I also teach adults too. Um, I've also written two chess books on chess. My first book that I written is 50 Poison Pieces,
Uh,
and you can this is available on Amazon.com. This book is you have to figure out why taking an unprotected piece is a mistake. So I'm trying to get the reader to think ahead, which is essential um, of playing chess. And then, since chess is a male-dominated game, I'm also trying to inspire more women and girls to play chess. So I wrote this book. This is Queen for a Day, the Girl's Guide to Chess Mastery. And this book came out in winter of 2020. So this is a new book. In this book, readers get to play an entire chess game with Sophia, and Sophia is right here, and she's a fictional character, so I just created her. In this book, I give the reader three choices for moves, and then the reader has to think about which move they should play, and then after they turn the page, then they can see if their move was good or bad, or like the best move. We always go with the okay or the best move, and then at the end we win the game against Sophia. Um, so
Wow, very, very interesting. In fact, I used to play chess only as just for fun, and I found it too complex. I loved the end games and I loved the chess puzzles, but playing a full game wasn't my cup of tea. I realized that. It used to make my head hurt, as my son would say too. So I played for a while, but then I finally said, okay, it's time to take a break. How did you get into chess? Did you get into it very early in life? At what point did you get into chess?
that's a good question. So my this is my story. When I was 8 years old, my mom taught me how to play chess, and she also taught my sister and my older brother too. But at that time, chess was just like any other game. I thought that chess was just like Monopoly, checkers. I would only play it from time to time. So that was just the extent to it. And then I remember, like maybe when I was 9 or 10, I also played chess with my babysitter, and that was fun. And then I remember that when I was in 5th grade, I remember that one of my teachers at my school, she really liked playing chess. So she started a chess club, and I was really, really excited about that. And so I would go to the chess club once a week, and I was excited, but unfortunately, not enough kids were interested in playing chess, so the chess club closed down. I was kind of sad, but I mean it is what it is. And then when I was in high school, I started to just play chess at home almost every day. And my dad, he noticed, and my dad, he doesn't play chess, but he suggested, like, hey, do you want to go to a chess club to just play chess with other people? And at that time, I was 15. I didn't know about chess clubs, but I decided, like, hey, this sounds fun. So I remember that he took me to the Fremont Chess Club across the Dumbarton Bridge. So I grew up in Menlo Park. And so I used to go to this chess club in Fremont once a week on a Friday night. And that's when I started to play in tournaments. That's when I started to um, that's when I joined the United States Chess Federation. So I also got a chess rating, and that was really, really fun. And then after a couple of months, the chess club closed down. I'm not really too sure why. So I had to find another chess club. Um, so I ended up going to the Burlingame Chess Club in Burlingame, California. And I went there for a couple of years, and then that chess club eventually closed down. But I used to go to the Burlingame Chess Club um, once a week, and it was really fun. I started to play in tournaments, and I got to meet some very interesting people. And that's when I got serious about playing chess, and that's how I got started. So long story. And now I teach it. So it's
Wow, and it's amazing. By now, you already have two books on chess as well.
yes.
And that's really amazing. I've written one book in my life, and I know it's a huge amount of work. How did you go about writing with your busy schedule and teaching chess and all that? What
Um,
inspired you to write?
I wanted to reach out to more people. I've been teaching chess for about I've been teaching chess for the last 8 years, and like sometimes teaching chess one-on-one, I can only reach out to so many people, right? Um, but I wanted to reach out to more people, so I figured like, oh, if I write a chess book, I can reach out to so many other people out there. And I figured like, oh, let's just go for it. I teach a lot of beginners how to play chess, and um and then also like I also know about like chess books out there. I don't know of any books that talk about poison pieces. So I decided like um well, if there's no books about poison pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and write a book about poison pieces. So there might be some books about poison pieces, but I don't know of any books. So I'm just happy that I wrote this book. So writing a book is a long process. It's a lot of work. So what I ended up doing was, well, for this book, I created 50 puzzles on my iPad. I have a chess app, and then after that, then I typed the manuscript in Microsoft Word, and then the process is long. So after I created the manuscript, then I had to hire a chess master editor because I had to make sure that the explanations were master straight level, make sure that the explanations were high quality. So I hired one, And then after that, I had to hire another editor to make sure that the grammar is perfect. That's really, really important. And then after the grammar is perfect, then I had to hire a graphic designer
Yeah.
to do the book layout. So this, just so that you know, that this is self-publishing. There's I think there's two ways to publish a book. There's a self-publishing route, but you can also go through a publisher. I decided to self-publish both of my books, so that's what I did. But after after the graphic designer did her work, um, then um, then you can upload it to Amazon, and that's what I did. So the 50 Poison Piece book, I think it took a couple of years to write, um, and it's, but you have to be very dedicated. So I did this between chess lessons, because I teach kids um, like during the afternoon and evening time. So my mornings were pretty much free, and that's how I found time to write both of my books. I think it's worth that, because when you write a book, you can reach out to more people. And again, chess is a male-dominated game, and it's just I am happy to be a women chess teacher. I really am, but and I know like it's like when I play in a chess tournament, oftentimes like I might be the only woman, or there could be very few women out there. So it's like it's just like, okay, I want to do my part to inspire more women and girls to play chess. But again, it's just like before I wrote this book, the only thing I was doing is just teaching one-on-one. So I was just teaching people like maybe in the Bay Area. But again, it's just like, well, how can I inspire more women and girls to play chess? Oh, write a chess book. So um, and that's what I did. So, and I think that this book, I think it's important because, you know, there's a girl on the cover, Sophia. She's a beginner. It's a queen for a day. This is the like, I think it's a fun book. It's high quality. Um,
Ah,
Yes, this book was endorsed by the 2019 U.S. Women's Chess Champion, and
wow.
another top chess master. So it's like, yes, I'm doing my part. So I think so. My plan is like I want to continue to write more chess books in the future, but not anytime soon.
Well, first of all, congratulations to get such strong endorsements. And having gone through the challenges of writing, I know how much discipline and hard work and creativity. You cannot just write a book. It has to have fun. It has to be exciting. It has to be useful. And hopefully you have a blog and maybe a YouTube channel or something like that to go with it, so you can share it even more openly.
Yes, can I share my screen?
Sure, sure, please.
Okay, great. Let me go ahead and do that. Um,
Okay, great.
okay. So my chess YouTube channel is Chess by Lauren, and I upload a video every day. And I think right now I've been just playing a lot of Blitz games, and I just talk about when I'm playing. So I think it's fun. Um, and earlier on, I also have puzzles on my website too. If you're in, if you know how to play chess, you're welcome to contact me. I'll be happy to play a chess game with you for my channel. So I think this is a fun book. Um, my this is my books on Amazon. If in case you want to buy it, this is great. I also have um, a and then this is my my website, Chess by Lauren. Right now, I hired a website person, and he's making some modifications on my website. So if you see this later on, it might look different because of the modifications, but this is what my website looks like too. But I also have created 500 puzzles too. There's different categories too. So you can check out the puzzles too. But if you're a beginner, I also have a um, I also give chess workshops. Um, free free chess workshops. So the next one is Friday, October 30 October 23rd from 1 to 2 p.m. This workshop is completely free. It's hosted by the San Jose Public Library. It's for adults, and then you can just learn from me. I'll be happy to just teach you the basics. I think that's really nice. That's all I have to say about my website stuff. So I guess I'll
Wow,
just
this is amazing. 500 puzzles. That's a lot of
uh,
interesting puzzles. I could get busy the next few months. I love
yeah,
chess puzzles.
yeah, yeah. The I think that these puzzles are really really good because I'm trying to get players to think before they move. Oftentimes, players lose because they just move without thinking. And I tell my students, if you want to win, you need to think before you move. You need to ask questions like, if I move here, what is my opponent going to do? What am I attacking? What is my opponent attacking? You gotta do that before each move. The puzzles that I created, there's different categories. So there's like checkmate, stalemate, skewer, and fork. So like for example, like for this puzzle, you have to figure out which knight to take. So you can take this knight, or you can also take this knight. Both knights are not protected, but taking one knight is a good move, and taking the other is a mistake. So if you take this knight, this is a mistake, and then you have to figure out why taking a knight is a mistake. In this puzzle, the correct move is moving this queen here, and then this queen is checking the king, and it's also attacking the rook at the same time. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get people to think before they move. That's really, really important. So of course, in this puzzle, you have to take this knight, and it's completely safe. So,
Wow, this is really sophisticated. Not only do you have the games, but it can start over and you can play it multiple times and practice.
yeah, yeah. So there's 500 puzzles, so I think it's fun. So,
Amazing, amazing. I'm going to share this with a lot of my friends.
oh, thank you very much. I guess I'll start my share. So,
Sure. So, it's like when we take on a hobby or a profession, often we learn, we learn a lot from it. In what ways has chess shaped your life over the last few years that you've been in it? In what ways has it changed you as a person, besides being one of the top chess players in the US? How has it shaped your life as well?
okay, so I'm gonna talk about my story and how chess has impacted me in a positive way. I'm gonna just tell everyone is I am willing to talk about my struggles growing up as a person, so I can inspire others to stay strong mentally. I don't like to talk about it, but I'm willing to share it so you guys can stay strong. That's really, really important. Um, when I was growing up, um, I had I saw a speech therapist when I was growing up, so I had trouble saying my R's and my L's, and also I was also in special ed too, so I took some special ed classes. It's very interesting because some people think that you have to be very, very smart to play chess, and I I think like that's very interesting to say. I um, have to I tell people that people are smart in their own way. Um, so for me, like growing up, I had a very difficult time growing up because I got made fun of. A lot of kids made fun of my speech. It was a very stressful time um, in my life. It was very, very difficult. And because of that, I couldn't really concentrate on my schoolwork. Um, so it was very difficult, but I think that chess helped me because it was a positive outlet. I remember like when I got into high school, I just looked forward going to the chess club once a week just to play chess, and then that got my mind off of like the stressful situation in school. Um, so that's really important. Um, I think another thing is, um, I think like again, everyone is smart in their own way. I will be open about my grades. Some people think like you have to be really, really smart to play chess. I don't think that's the case. I was never really good at math. I went up to algebra 2, but I my GPA was a C plus, B minus average, so I never got straight A's. But I guess my strength it was just I was just playing chess and just got really really good at it. So I just want to tell people that people are smart in their own way. That's really really important to know. Um, and so after I graduated from high school, I went to Notre Dame de Namur University in Belmont. So that's like in between San Francisco and San Jose, so it's in the San Francisco Bay Area. I did graduate, but after I graduated, I didn't know what to do with my life. Um, it was just like I took a like growing up, like getting made fun of. It took a huge mental toll on myself because it was just like I wanted to really belong. I didn't really have a lot of friends, so it was like I really wanted to be normal, but it was hard for me. Um, so yeah, I couldn't really concentrate on my schoolwork. And so after I graduated from college, I thought the norm was to like get a 9 to 5 job. And I remember that um, I was in a job hunt group for a couple of years and I couldn't find a permanent job. And I thought like, oh, maybe I should just get an office job. But um, I didn't really get a permanent job, but actually maybe that was meant to be. So so what happened was I remember that I saw right I saw a life coach, and I was trying to like figure out what to do with life. I mean, this was I was in my 20s. So I was very like I was very frustrated. Um, and she said like, well, you're so good at chess. Like, why don't you teach it? And I thought, well, okay. So I remember that I tried teaching chess in the schools, and that actually failed big time because I'm not really good at teaching chess um, in a group setting. Because if you're teaching a group of kids, you also have to discipline them. So it was um, it was very difficult for me. So I figured like this isn't working out, and I remember that I was so I couldn't go down that pathway anymore. But then my life coach said like, why don't you teach chess one on one? So you're only dealing with one kid instead of a group of kids. And I decided, well, okay, I'm just gonna try something new. And I remember that I got an email from the Stanford Chess Club. Um, and again, I live in Menlo Park, so Stanford University is nearby. And this email was from a parent, and she was looking for a chess teacher, a chess teacher to teach her two kids. And I remember that I responded to her email and I said, "Hey, I live in Menlo Park. Um, I am a I am an accomplished chess teacher. I am available to teach her two kids how to play chess." And she hired me, and I guess she really enjoyed what I offered, and so she referred me to her friends, and that's how I got started as a self-employed chess teacher. So I'm very fortunate. I'm fortunate. I'm very happy to be a chess teacher. Um, I realized that chess is not like being a woman chess teacher is not a typical job. But I'm okay with that. Um, I'm just happy to just continue to teach chess to kids and adults. Um, and chess is a huge part of my life. Without chess, I would actually be kind of lost. So chess it means a lot to me. But again, chess is a male-dominated game. I'm happy to be a woman chess teacher, so I'm happy to just do my part to inspire more women interested in chess.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for sharing the vulnerable parts of your life. It's never easy, but especially given the circumstances, the challenges that everybody is facing, I'm grateful that you opened up and talked about the challenges of growing up. I myself grew up very awkwardly as a very awkward individual for various reasons. And it took me many, many years to be able to open up about it because the stigma, sometimes there's a lot of stigma attached to or shaming that happens, right? So I'm really grateful you shared. And secondly, I'm really grateful you found your passion because it can be easy to get lost with these defined norms. You got to have a job, you got to have this, and you got to be married or whatever. And these are stereotypes that when we try to fit in, some of us don't fit in very well. I don't. I used to jump jobs every year because I would not be I was good at my work, technical work. I was an engineer, but I was terrible at managing relationships. I was now when I think back about it, I was a prima donna all the time. So I had difficulty in dealing with emotions and people. So it took me many years to figure out that I'd be happier as a consultant or an entrepreneur. So I'm really grateful you found that early in life.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a huge struggle for me because, again, after I graduated from college, I thought, like, oh, I need to get a 9 to 5 office job. And I remember that I was applying for all these office assistant jobs. And then I remember, like, I had a 2 week temp job doing that, and it was no fun. And it's just like, what the heck am I doing? Right? I think, so I mean, I think it's just important to be, um, like, like, em- embrace your uniqueness. I think that's really important. Like, be your authentic self. I think that's really, really important. I know for me, it's like, I am a chess teacher, and I mean, that's what I'm good at. It's not typical, but this is what I do. Um, and um, I'm happy that I'm doing it because um I mean yeah, I'm just happy to just share my knowledge with others. That's
In
really
fact,
then.
in fact, when I was growing up, the only measure of success or in school was the IQ tests and being good at the SATs or the entrance exams. And somehow I had mastered those things. But I have a brother who suffered because he was not good at those tests, the multiple question tests, and being quick and answering and all that. But he has fantastic people skills, for example, or negotiation skills. So he suffered because he didn't fit into that standardized IQ. I'm glad at least now people are opening up to the idea that there are other ways of being competent. So there's no test that will check whether you're good at chess. There are many for mathematics, which is what you talked about earlier, and many for language skills. But there are very few tests to, for example, learn dance or music. And there are, but they're not considered important from an SAT perspective. So the norms are very narrowly defined, isn't it? The
Yeah,
so-called normal is very, very narrowly defined.
yeah. I mean, I know like for me is I mean, um I remember like in high school, I remember that I took geometry and algebra too. I think just, I mean, because I think that was a high school requirement, I think. But I know, like, for me, is like, I wasn't, I mean, again, the school environment for me, it wasn't good because I was made fun of. And it was very, very difficult. And because of that, I couldn't really concentrate on my schoolwork. So I ended up repeating algebra. No, I think yeah, I think algebra two. I think two times because like, there was a point where I didn't really care about my school, like my math class, but it was a bad time. But I did manage to get acceptable grades. But I think the most important thing is that I think that everyone is smart in their own way, or everyone's gifted in their own way, and I think it's important to maybe pursue like what you're good at. That's what I think. So
Yeah, and it takes time to find that. It takes time to find what you really are good at. I remember for years I would struggle with not wanting to manage large teams of people or be a team player, as they call it. I'm definitely, even today, I'm not the best team player, but I'm a good storyteller. So, so what should a storyteller do in a corporate environment? 9 to 5 won't fit in. But then I became a corporate storyteller at some point, telling stories of companies, interviewing engineers, and now I've been talking to people literally around the world about their life. And it gives me a lot of joy. I mean, thank God Alison Mintz introduced us, and we're literally talking for the first time, but it gives me so much joy to learn about your life and all that. So you mentioned the challenges you had in terms of finding friends and all that. Did chess give you that social, I should say, like friends and all that? Because it creates a completely different way of looking at the world. In school settings is very different, college settings is very different. But when you're doing something that you're passionate about, we really come to life, isn't it?
yes, so I think through chess I was able to meet some very interesting people. And I went to the Burlingame Chess Club when I was in high school. Again, this chess club doesn't exist anymore because it closed down. But I got to meet some very interesting people. So one interesting person that I met um, was actually I met some very interesting people. But one person was Tyson Mao, and he's a Rubik's Cube expert, and he knows how to solve the Rubik's Cube blindfolded, which is really, really amazing.
Wow,
Um,
Rubik's Cube blindfolded. That's
yes,
amazing.
and yes, and I think he's a speed keeper, so um, he can solve the cube probably less than 10 seconds. So he's really, really good at it. And then another person that I met at the Board Game Chess Club is um, Peter Thiel. So
Peter
he's,
Thiel. Yes.
yes, so he's the co-founder of PayPal. He's and he also was one of the early investors of Facebook. So he's a billionaire. It was very interesting to meet him. And he Peter Thiel is a chess master, and he was actually the very first chess master that I played in a tournament. So it
Wow.
was very, very interesting to play him. And his mom used to go to the chess club too.
Oh,
So
so this was when he was young. He became a chess master pretty early, huh?
yeah, so yeah, Peter Thiel yeah, went to the Bergen Chess Club. Another interesting person that I met um, um, I met another person, and she's a former professional tennis player too. So I think it's interesting. Like, a lot of interesting people play chess. So it yeah. So it's nice. I have so I think like right now I have a friend, and she is the U.S. women's no U.S. blind chess champion. So she's legally blind, and she can still play chess. Um, um,
Amazing.
yeah, so it's interesting because some people think, can blind people play chess? And yes, blind people can play chess because they can use a special chessboard. So they use their fingers to feel the pieces, and that's like how they see. So
Amazing. Amazing.
it is really, really amazing. And she actually created a video. And maybe after this interview, I can show you the video on how blind people play chess. I find it to be very interesting. So, um, yeah, so it's, yeah, so I mean, I think, yeah, so yeah, I used to play in tournaments like all the time, and I'm meeting interesting people. It's fun. Again, people of all ages play chess. Um, I think the thing about playing chess is you don't have to talk. And I know, like when I was in high school, again, I was really self cautious about how I taught. I was very self cautious about how I talked because again, I saw a speech therapist when I was growing up, and when you're playing chess, you don't have to talk at all, and games can last for maybe 2 to 4 hours. So I would just just get to my chessboard, just concentrate, think, didn't have to think, talk, and it was fun. It was a really good experience. So so yeah, you get to meet some very interesting people through chess. So yeah.
Yeah, in fact, my escape going through a difficult childhood was mathematics and solving puzzles. That's how I got into chess puzzles. Among my most favorite puzzles is eight queens on a chessboard, placing eight queens so that they don't attack each other. And I must have solved that at least 1,000 times because I wanted to kind of have mastery in eight queens on a chessboard. I could do it in 2 hours, all the 92 different combinations of solutions. And I think I mentioned to you earlier, the knight that jumps around all the 64 squares without ever repeating. That is another of those puzzles. Um, and I enjoyed it because, same thing, if I had difficulty in getting along with people, then I could just sit. And it was like meditation. I could sit for hours, whole days sometimes, playing the eight queens on a chessboard or knight going through. And the way it helped me is first building self-confidence, getting in touch with my own frustrations and becoming more patient, more resilient, and so on. So did your work also, chess work, develop that kind of confidence and clarity about who Lauren is and what Lauren's purpose in life is?
purpose of life. I think like um I think for me is I want to continue to inspire other people to stay strong. I think it's really important to believe in yourself as a person. And um, I know, um, I think it's just important to just stay strong and just say, like, I am strong. I can, I can offer a lot to society. That's really, really important because I really believe that um, I think when people self doubt themselves or if they don't have confidence in themselves, um, I think that's when people go downhill in their life. But I also believe in like positive thoughts and beliefs. So it's just really important to just like believe in yourself as a person. Um, I know for me, again, I am being very open about my or like what's going on like in the past to inspire you guys to stay strong. I don't like to talk about it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Is I remember that when I was growing up, um, when I was in junior high, I was very self-cautious about my speech because I had I saw a speech therapist and I had trouble saying the R's and L's, and because of that, I didn't want to talk to people. But of course, like if you don't talk to people, it's really, really hard to grow as a person. And at that time, um, it was really, really difficult. But I think after time went on, then I had to um, stay strong as a person and say like I had to say like, okay, look, I might not have perfect speech, but that's okay. Um, I have to stay strong. If people, I had to overcome it. If people cannot understand me, then I may have to communicate the word in a different way. I remember, like I, um, like for example, if someone cannot understand what I say, I may have to spell out the word, or I may have to say it slower, or I mean, there's many ways to overcome. That's really, really important for me. Um, and I think it's just important to say, I think it's also important to um, have goals and dreams in life. But again, back then in like junior high and high school, I think my struggle was like, since I was like getting made fun of, I couldn't, the only thing I wanted to do was to just survive, like in the school environment, because it, like my mental state, it was very difficult, but I was strong enough to like, um, just like, how you say it? Like, just like manage it. So I didn't have any dreams or goals back then in high school and junior high. But I think after I graduated from college and then I think when I think once I started to teach chess, I think I developed more confidence in myself, and then I thought like I want to think big, um, and that's how that's when I started like I can write books, and that's what I did. Um, I wanted, and that's what I want to continue to do is I want to continue to think big, so I can inspire more women and girls to play chess. But again, like thinking big, I think that's really, really important because I personally for me, I think that time goes by really, really fast. So I think it's really important to just make the most out of life. because time goes by fast, you can't go back in the go back in the and so you can't go back in time. So I think just moving forward, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the most out of my life. Think big. Have I'm gonna continue to write more books right now. But right now, I am working on another project, and I estimate that this project is going to take a couple of years to complete. Um, and that's okay. So again, I think the most important thing I want to just that people know is like if you have like some insecurity about yourself, like it's like if you think, I mean, if like I guess like again for me, my speech, I am not ashamed of it. I'm comfortable how I talk, and I'm I'm fine with that. But I think like I the most important thing is just believe in yourself as a person and think big and just try to have a positive um, impact in society. I think that's really, really important. So,
Yeah, yeah, and I'm so glad again, Lauren, you're talking about these very challenging subjects. We see so much of pain, especially among teenagers. We see so much of misery. The Silicon Valley has had a history of young people, going below Caltrain and committing suicide even. One of the highest suicidal ideations in the nation, probably in the world. It's even more important to understand that the standardized tests and the standardized way of looking at things are becoming popular in school, are not a metric of success. But we give so much importance to it because that's what we know. The whole world tells us that you have to have great SAT scores, GRE scores, whatever, or you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or some standardized career, and or to be popular in school and so on. As I was an awkward kid, I put all my energy into doing well in the test. But much later, 20 years later, I'm like, no, I really don't like engineering. I had to confess to myself that I liked other things. It wasn't sitting down and coming up with either code or machines, and I had to do a course correction. What I see has happened in your life, Lauren, is that you had a course correction much earlier in life because life was much harsher in certain ways. And I'm glad you are able to talk about it and that you're doing things that you're passionate about. So maybe the pandemic has been a very busy time for you then, huh? You haven't had much free time.
um, the pandemic it has changed my work. Before the pandemic, I used to go from house to house to my chess students. So I used to do a lot of driving. But the pandemic has changed my life too because right now I can't teach in person. So all my chess lessons are on Zoom. So I work from home now on my computer. Um, and I think like there's advantages and disadvantages. I think one advantage is I don't have to drive, so there's no commute. I guess another positive thing is um, I'm saving the environment because um, I don't have to use my car. So that's a good thing. But I think one thing I do miss is uh, um, I do miss seeing my students and my friends in person. So that's one thing I do miss. I know that, and I also lost some of my chess students because some of my,
Oh,
yeah, so I still teach chess 6 days a week, but at the beginning of the pandemic, I did lose some students because some of my students' parents want me to teach them in person, and they don't want me to teach them online. So I lost those students, but I luckily got more students. But I'm hoping like maybe when it's safe to teach in person, I'm hoping I can get those students back. But that's when those are some changes that I had to I'm facing right now. But I'm doing okay. right now. So I try to, I think it's important to have a happy and healthy life. So I'm trying to be active. Um, so I try to take walks around the neighborhood. That's important. I try to get out. So I think it's important to, again, I think to have goals. So I'm just working. I'm just trying to do day by day. Stay busy. I think it's important to talk to other people. So I teach chess, but I'm also part of some other groups too. So that's actually really important. So I think the most important thing is like I'm trying to embrace what's going on. But I do miss seeing people, and I still miss seeing people in person. But I'm very grateful that we have Zoom. So that's good.
So, Lauren, one of the challenges is when we get into something that we are passionate about, what you just mentioned, it's easy to do only that. And I've done that many times in my life. But then, for example, if I was on the computer all day long, or I was doing one activity, then I would lose my balance in terms of physical fitness or even socializing and so on. So I guess you have also been deliberately cultivating other things to balance the highly intellectual task of playing chess, right?
Right. So I do teach chess 6 days a week, but again, chess is not like my entire life. I mean, there's so many areas in life. So, I mean, chess is a huge part of it, but I have other areas in life. So, one of the things that I like to do is I like to crochet, and I like to crochet scarves. Actually, can I show you my scarves?
Sure, sure.
I want to show you my scarves. Oh my God. I think it's really, really important to learn new things in life. And um, so last year, I went to Chicago, and I visited my aunt, and she taught me how to crochet. And this is the first scarf um, that I crocheted, but I, but now these are the other scarves that I made.
Wow.
Um, so I hope people um, can see that. So I think in life, I think it's important to try new things, um, because I think you can grow as a person. So I know for me is like I used to play in chess tournaments all the time. And again, I do play chess often because of my YouTube channel, but I want to do other things in life. So again, I spend a lot of time crocheting. Um, I also like to play tennis, and that's for exercise. And of course, like it's important to meet other people. In tennis, you have to play with another person. So like that, the last couple of years, I've been on a tennis team. Um, this is recreational. That's so it's very important to stay active. Um, I also do improv comedy. So it's kind of fun. But I like to watch movies. I like to go to the beach. So I do other things. So no, so again, chess is not my entire life because
Mhm.
I'm not a robot. It's just like chess um if I did chess like 24/7, I I could not do that. So I have to make sure that my life is well balanced, and that's really really important to like um yeah, that's good for my mental health, because again it's just like if it's yeah, if I don't have a balanced life, I would just go downhill. So I strive to have a happy and healthy life. So I strive to have a well balanced
Yeah.
life.
Well, first of all, I'm so grateful, Lauren, that you talked to us, talked about your life, what it's like, give us a glimpse of what it's like to be a woman in the chess arena, and the challenges that you faced as a young person, how you went beyond that and have created both books as well as YouTube videos, a whole channel, as well as a website, so much to offer to people in an area that's often considered as highly intellectual, meant for Mensa people. You know, all these stereotypes we have that you
Yeah.
have to have very high IQ to be able to even play chess. You broke that for me today. So
Oh,
I did not even know that you don't have to be good at the standardized mathematics or mathematical skills to be able to play chess well. And do you have any closing words for people before we say goodbye?
I guess like well um well I hope that I inspired you in a positive way, and if anybody has more questions about chess or anything else, they're welcome to contact me. Um, I think that's important, and um, I think that's that. Thank you so much for having me. It was really nice to meet you, and
Yeah, same here, and I would love to thank Alison Mintz as well for introducing us. And we will give all the your social media contacts so people can find you or learn from your work. And I'll give mine too. And I'm always interested in talking to more people doing different things, going through the road less taken, the different challenges we face, and how we learn and become unique, how we learn and become who we really want to be in life. And Lauren, you're doing amazing things. I think you mentioned your friends. You have a funny thing about Goodkind. Tell us about what Goodkind, your last name, means to you.
thank you. Yeah, so my last name is really good kind, and I tell people that I am a good and kind person. But if you play me a game of chess, I am a mean kind of person.
And you mean it.
I mean it. Yes, I mean yeah. It's like if you play me a game of chess, I am. I'm gonna try my best to win. But if you're one of my students, then I might purposely like lose just to teach you. But it depends on the situation. But yeah, that's what I tell people. So I'm a good and kind person. But if you play me a game of chess, I am a mean kind of person.
Well, very, very nice to hear from you and get to know you this way. Amazing. Good luck to you. I would love to read some of your books and I'll find them online. And I'm really grateful to get to know you.
Thank you again. I'm glad that Allison introduced you to me, and it was fantastic to be on your show. So thank you very much.
Have a great evening. Good night.
Yep, and good morning to you.
Thank you.